Hi everyone, and welcome to another model railway review from Class 47 Peter. And in today's video we're going to be having a look at the Hornby rebuilt Merchant Navy. Now the model I'm looking at in this video is 35005 Canadian Pacific, otherwise known as Campac for short, in the BR Express Passenger Blue livery, which this is a fictitious livery, at least for the rebuild locomotives, because when they were rebuilt, they never carried this livery. This is a livery that they only would have carried when they had the air smooth casing before they were rebuilt. This model has been discontinued by Hornby now for, crikey, quite some years ago now. I think it was first released in 2006, if I remember rightly. And I remember flicking through a Hornby catalogue the year this was released, and I saw this model in the catalogue and I thought, wow, I'd love to have this model. This has been a model I've been after for years, but I could never get my hands on one. But then when I went to the Stafford Model Railway exhibition, by chance, should I see this on display on a trade stand. And as soon as I saw it, I had to buy it. And I bought it along with the DJ model Sons of Austerity, Royal Engineer that you saw in the last review I did, as well as a Bachmann Tornado, a Hornby Network Southeast Class 50, and a Bachmann Class 66. Those three items, though, you've yet to see on the channel. And this is a pre-owned item. It was originally priced at £129, but it was on special offer for £110. So as you can see, the model comes in the polystyrene packaging, which this is obsolete packaging, because Hornby don't use this packaging as much now. They do use it on the Class 43 HST models, and I believe the Class 800s as well, but they don't use it as much now, because they now use the plastic packaging that most manufacturers are using now. Now normally, when this model will be brand new, it will be wrapped in the tissue paper, but I'm not a fan of that. It can look nice and presentable when it's neat, but I have seen occasions where it's all ripped and shredded up, so it doesn't look as nice and presentable that way. This packaging, it is ideal because it does protect the model very well. However, you do have to be careful when removing the model from the packaging, because it can actually break some of the detailing off the model. I personally prefer the packaging that splits in two, the polystyrene packaging that splits in two. I just prefer it, and also because it doesn't break any of the detail parts off. But this packaging isn't all bad, you know, it doesn't always happen. It's happened to me on a few occasions, but when it doesn't happen, it can be pretty good packaging. Now, because this is a second-hand model, I can see that the detail parts have already been fitted, although there does look to be an accessory bag of some sort in here. And in here it's just a spare coupling and a little screw to hold it in place. So I'll put that to one side. So both the loco and the tender have been removed from the box, and what really catches my eye with this locomotive is the livery. The BR Express Passenger Blue is my favourite livery, and it does look absolutely gorgeous. This is the 4th loco I have in this livery, and it really does suit the locomotive very, very well, I think. And it is quite a handsome livery. Now, as I've already mentioned, being a second-hand model, some of the detail parts have already been fitted. The vacuum pipes and the footsteps and the brake rods, but that's fine, because that saved me a job from having to do it myself. Now, one thing I've noticed, which concerns the pony truck, is the colour of it. It appears to be a green colour, and that does stick out like a sore thumb of it, that does, because that should be painted black, but it seems to be a green colour. So I can only assume that that must have been replaced. So I'll probably have to get some black paint on it, I think, and paint that. But then I have got another Merchant Navy, so I suppose I could use the pony truck bogie from that one and then use this one on that one and just paint this one up. Okay, so I've painted the pony truck bogie, as you can see, and I've used Revel matte black. I was going to swap the pony truck from the other Merchant Navy over, but there are wires actually held from there, so I felt that was a bit of a, well, I thought it was a bit iffy swapping them over, to be honest. So I've just gone and painted it. It's not something we should have to do really, but it's sorted now, and I think that does look better. Something else I also noticed upon opening the model is that the separately fitted smoke box door dart had broke off, and so what I did was I took a small piece of wire, which I had cut to size, glued it in place, and then I painted it, and so that does look better now. Again, that's not something we should have to do, but hey ho, I've sorted that now. I've also got the bullet horizontal whistle there, which is separately fitted, and I do love the sound of the bullet whistle, I do. It really is quite something. Something else I love about the Bullet Pacifics as well, other than the chuffing sound they make, is the Firth Brown wheels. The Bullet Firth Brown wheels, or box spot wheels, as they're also known as. And I do love those wheels. You know, they really do look grand, in my opinion. Now, we do have cab interior detail in the model, although alas it's not painted, although this was an earlier model. And on most of these earlier models the cab interior detail wasn't painted. But even though it is nice to see the cab interior detail painted, it is something you can do yourself. And so that's something I might do myself at some point. I also love the white lining on this livery. It really does lift the blue, I think, and lifts the livery. And it does look gorgeous. We also have separately fitted metal handrails on the model, and the steam piping, which on this end runs under the handrail. You've also got this bit of piping here painted a gold colour, and that's separately fitted. That does look really nice. Another thing I love about this model is the window frames on the cab sides. They are painted a brass colour, and you know, that really does lift the livery, in my opinion. It does help to lift it and pop out at you, I think. That just looks stunning. And I suppose we can't really leave out the now as standard sprung metal buffers. We've also got some piping that runs under the cab and under the running plate there, and that's painted. And then we've got this steam pipe in here that runs under the separately fitted handrail on this side. And these parts are separately fitted and they are painted again as well, and they do look really nice. Moving on to the tender now. Now, first of all, we have a coal load in there. It's not removable, it's a moulded load. But then again, some of the earlier Merchant Navy models, the coal loads weren't removable. Later models, however, did have the removable coal load. It also has a medium tension lock coupling rather than a slim tension lock one. But again, this was an earlier model. Later versions of the Merchant Navies, and and the other Bully Pacifics as well for that matter, had the slim tension lock couplings fitted. On the back of the tender we have the ladders there on the rear of the tender. We've got all these electric headlamps, which I'm thinking of painting the headlights on these, on both the tender and on the loco. We've also got the warning signs as well, which are crisply printed, and they do look nice. And something else I haven't yet pointed out is that the livery application on both the loco and the tender is superb. Very nice even coat of paint in the correct shade of blue as well. No errors in the paintwork. It's exactly how it is. It's nice and smooth and it's a beautiful finish. And the printing on the BR early emblems on the tender, it really is smashing. I mean, the printing on that is just absolutely superb. And I do love the BR early logo. I think it's my favourite logo in my opinion when it comes to the BR logos. So now we come to the running performance, and the important thing is, the most important thing is that she runs well and smoothly. Because this is how we should expect to see these models perform, and this is how they should run, straight from the box. And she's a smooth runner. And doesn't she look magnificent? Gliding along the rails in that beautiful express passenger blue livery. And still the link motion there moving as well. Moving on to the loaded test run now, and we have Canadian Pacific pulling the Pullman coaches. And there's 7 of them here behind the loco, and she can handle these with ease. No trouble at all. So that now brings me on to my conclusion of the model. So what do I think of it? Well, I can overgloss the pony truck under there not being painted black and the broken off smoke box door dart, because those things have now been sorted, and so she's perfect now. But the important thing is that she runs well. That's the main thing. But this is a model that I have been after for years now. I've finally got it, and it's now in my possession, and so I couldn't be happier. And I think what I might have to do now is to, when it's released, buy the Air Smooth Merchant Navy that's coming out in the BR Express Passenger Blue livery. So that might be something worth considering. I mean, you guys know how much I like my double headers, so imagine that model double heading with this one. I think that might have just swayed the decision to get that model now, but we'll see. But this is a really nice model, so if you can get one of these, I'd definitely recommend it. But that now brings us on to the end of this review, so I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Subscribe to the channel, check out my other videos, and I'll see you again soon for the next review. But until then, take care.